All right, folks, good Wednesday morning. It is decision day. Well, we already know what the decision is. Excuse me. We don't know what the words are going to be or if we're going to see the pivot today. Man, there is a lot going on that we have to cover that, of course, isn't being covered from your regular channels, but they are covered in mine. And that's why you're here. So let's go ahead and get airborne because we have a lot to talk about. Something real quick I want to share with you because it ties into a lot of things. Let me read this real quick. You know, our No Fallen Heroes Instagram, I think we're like over 11,000 in like 5 months, 6 months, over 11,000 followers. And just rapid explosion, man, which shows the need kind of for what we're doing, right? And what we're talking about, what we're preaching. But every morning I wake up, man, I don't look at my phone first anymore because you can't, wash your face, brush your teeth, and then I meditate, man, because this is the type of, on a daily basis, I'm getting bombarded with people reaching out for help. But this one this morning really hit home. I want to share this one with you. This is so terrifying to me. My son aspirations are to enter BUDS, Basic Underwater Demolition School. So this kid wants to be a SEAL. After college, physically, he's going to make it, but obviously the success rate is low. My concerns are exactly what your mission is about. The collateral damage that will follow him years down the road. I anticipate the PTSD, anxiety, depression, all of it. He is 22 and is so certain this is what he wants, but I'm afraid he will never be prepared for the fallout from enlisting. It breaks my heart, and I am holding on to who he is now because I'm afraid he will never be the same person after selection. The Navy is taking my child from me. I don't even believe in our government anymore. How can this happen? He has no idea what he is signing up for. What can I do? The number one recruitment source for the United States military is what? Are who? Me. Veterans. You guys know where I stand, man. I sat on the couch yesterday for 3 hours. I watched All Quiet on the Western Front. Have you guys watched this yet? Just came out a couple days ago on Netflix. Especially if you have a Ukrainian flag in your bio. Please watch All Quiet on the Western Front. This hits home because my oldest son, Matthew, was 22. He sits out there every day. He graduated from Norwich University, a senior military college, as a cadet second lieutenant, captain of the hockey team. He has a tutor every day because he can't get this one score required for the ASTB. Right? They can't make their fucking recruiting goals, and a kid like Matthew's having problems trying to become an officer in the United States military. I don't want him to. I don't want my son Jack to go into Navy ROTC at A&M or CU. I want neither of my children, or Keely obviously, to serve this country. I trust nobody in leadership. You see what they're doing now to us, folks? See what they're doing now to us? Did you see the article in the Atlantic over the weekend? We need a COVID amnesty, right? We led with our heart and our best of intentions, but they didn't apologize. They're not saying they were wrong. They just kind of want to forget everything they fucking did to us. The Constitution was written during like a bubonic plague. The Constitution is supposed to stand plagues and wars and everything. It's not supposed to get ripped and shredded like, we have some emergency powers. Where does it say that? It doesn't, but it's an emergency and we're giving us powers. So I don't trust anybody in a position of leadership in this country. They're lying to us. The Brits did, but we obviously helped them. They blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. What did you find out last night, ladies and gentlemen, that I told you was happening on day one? What did you find out that would be breaking news if it was Donald Trump? Oh, okay, here we go. U.S. military inspectors in Ukraine to keep further track. To keep further track of weapons and equipment. So at least they heard a guy like me freak out like, okay, so all the weapons we're giving them are ending up all over Europe on the black market. That's fucking awesome. Well, now we're going to put boots on ground. I thought Joe Biden frothed at the mouth that said this would never happen. History might not repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Ukraine rhymes with Vietnam. President Kennedy, we're just going to send a couple advisors in there to keep an eye on the weapons that we're giving them. Okay. They promised you your son or daughter would not be in Ukraine. They're fucking in Ukraine. I knew they were in Ukraine the whole time. I got buddies that are in Ukraine. So, ladies and gentlemen, this breaks my heart. I haven't even, I went to yoga, got back, got my coffee, listened to a little bit of my call. What do I say to this woman? I'm actually going to commiserate with her. But can I? Yeah, I don't think your son should go in either. Sounds like the guy's he's my son. Even though I sit down with him and go, buddy, I would not. Do you think I want you dying for people in fucking Portland, Oregon, who hate the flag, who hate the anthem, who think as a white kid you're a piece of shit racist, sexist, homophobe, whatever, fill in the blank? We're in a lot of trouble. This country is fucked. Period. I don't care about no red wave that's coming either. It's it's already sailed. The ship has sailed, man. We are in a bad way. So this breaks my heart. Aside from all the just devastating ones, man. And not that that's not. I mean, this poor lady. My God, these people are just people. The antidepressants and the drugs. I have so many veterans in this inbox that are just in pain and hurting, and it's breaking my heart. Ugh. But it gives me strength of what we're doing. It is giving me so much to fight for, to live for, to do. Yeah, man. I have PTSD, disability rating. I'm running out of options. Can you please help me? My God, whatever. I don't want to be Debbie Downer, but this is my day job, man. This is my other day job. So sometimes if I seem a little detached or anything like that, when you wake up and you're bombarded with, I'm at the end of my rope, I'm going to kill myself, I have no money, I can't afford treatment. I'm like, oh my God, man. Ugh. Brutal. And speaking along those lines, so JP and a couple other guys and gals, thank you for your donations to Heroic Path to Light. They haven't reached their goal yet, guys. They need 35 grand. I gave them 10. I gave them 5. No Fallen Heroes gave them 5 too. You need to throw a couple shekels here, please. He's got 4 or 5 combat vets, a couple firefighters, and a couple cops. November 7th to the 10th. Please throw some couple bucks, man. It ain't gonna kill you. Take a sniper shot today, throw it over the fence to these guys, because they need the help. Sending somebody to the mission within all in is about 5 fucking grand. Airfare, hotels down at Mexico, airfare home, hotel. It ain't cheap, folks. If we can get, we're getting this in the United States. Justin, the Heroic Path to Light Church. We can do this in the United States. Who the fuck does the government think they are? You can't take that plant to communicate with your God. Excuse me? Benjamin, get the musket. Are you kidding me? So please support Heroic Path to Light. It is just absolutely critical. Christina, it is for us. We do 2 before calls and 4 integration calls afterwards. I was getting into it with a guy on Instagram who's like, it opened up the fucking, I saw demons and it was hell and everything like that. I'm like, well, did you unpack any of that during your integration? He's like, what integration? I'm like, this is no joke, folks. You guys know me, any darkness that I kind of saw, I leaned into it. And then when you leaned into the darkness, there wasn't any darkness. There wasn't any demons. It was bullshit, and it was God. There's only light. You put light on the darkness, man, the darkness goes. That's what I experienced. But this guy, he's like, I didn't get any of that. I didn't get that. We just did this. And I'm like, lovingly, I'm like, bro, man, here's kind of how we do it. He's like, well, I didn't get that. I'm like, okay. So we're going to try and do the right things. But make sure you listen to this podcast here with Justin Lepre. You'll meet him. Definitely after this, you're going to want to throw a couple bucks at him to help save a life. This dude did this on his own. 2018, 2017, he's doing this on his own, just experimenting. He's like, I'm suicidal. This is my last hope. And here he is, starting a church, and he hates that. Trust me, it makes my skin crawl too. He's like, I don't fucking call it a church, but under the laws of the United States, you got to call it that, or, it's a class 1. It's a felony. Benjamin, get the musket. What should be one of the biggest things in the news today? Let me scroll up here. Sorry, guys. Arrow, you and me both. So Arrow's having the same issue with her son. Arrow flew Eagles in the Air Force. And folks, this should be terrifying to you as an American. If you're an American and you see fighter pilots like Arrow and I going, I don't want you to serve, son or daughter, you should be freaked the fuck out. Who are they letting in? Guys with sleeve tattoos and GEDs. And, it's just, they are lowering the standards. And there's my boy sitting at the kitchen table in the other room studying to try and take his test so he can get in. It's a disgrace. Anyway. Eric, I haven't talked to Marcus Luttrell about it. I don't talk to Marcus Capone too much anymore, but so we'll always call him Alphonse, and Marcus Luttrell will be Marcus. So there's Alphonse and there's Marcus. So yeah, Lou Dog, I know, man. Lou Dog does some great work over in the Houston area, over in Harris County. Lou Dog, I got to introduce you to Marcus. Next time I'm out there, let's go out to the ranch, man. Let's go out to Valhalla. You need to meet him. Thomas, it is a 501c3. The No Fallen Heroes Foundation is a pass-through charity. They don't have all their shit set up yet. So we're taking the donations through No Fallen. Click on his page to donate, but it's going through our systems and back out to him until they get their pipes. We're called the sponsor charity. We're a sponsor charity for these guys. So, John, man, thank you, Paul. God bless you. John, that's a good question. So John obviously listened to the podcast. He went out in the parking lot of the fire station and was going to blow his head off with his 45. It's always loaded. He's like, dude, it's loaded right now. I never in my life has that gun been unloaded. And he's like, when I went to kill myself that night, the gun wasn't loaded. Who unloaded the 45? God. Truth, source, divine. He wasn't done. He has a lot to do, clearly. We all do. The biggest thing in the news that you should be freaking the hell out about today, or not freaking the hell out, but getting this is insanity. You ready for this? North Korea fired a shit pot of missiles. South Korea returned fire. Not one mention in the media. Karen, you know what's sad, and you know what really breaks my heart? Because I went out of my way. I'm not some great Santini father. I went out of my way to not foist any military shit on my kids. I never did that. I was not that guy. I didn't want them to peak too early and become like drug smoking hippies or something like that. So no. This was definitely an osmosis thing. And as they've gone along in life, I've gently kind of tried to go the other direction. And now it's kind of not gently. We go out to dinner sometimes. I'm like, man, I don't want you to fucking do it. Please don't do it, which maybe makes them want to do it even more. But it's an honor hey, I want to be like you, Dad, but please don't do it for me. Please, I want these kids to live their own life, their own existence, their own journey, their own happiness, right? I'm gonna live here forever, and I want them to be good. North Korea launches ballistic missile south of the line at 6:51 in the morning, November 2nd. North Korea fired 4 short-range ballistic missiles, SRBMs, from the Gyeongyang and Pyongyang province into the West Sea. At 8:51, North Korea fired 3 SRBMs into the East Sea. One shot landed in the high seas, and the others close to land. Air raid issued for these regions. I can't read the words. An estimated 10 additional launches, including SRBMs and surface-to-air missiles into the West Sea. At 11:10 in the morning, the South Korean Air Force F-15Ks and KF-16s fired 2 SLAM-ER air-to-surface missiles and 1 Spice 2000 precision-guided bomb into the high seas north of the NLL at a distance to where the missiles hit. From 127 in the Gyeongsang gun area, about 100 rounds were fired at the NLL North Sea buffer zone into the East Sea. At 2 p.m., the air raid warning issued was lifted, replaced with an alert warning. Got all the intel right there from. So, Wells Fargo downgraded to Paramount to sell. We have an election coming up. Blah, 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 blah. Inflation. Joe Biden, again, yesterday, mumbled about his son dying in Iraq. Well, he confused Ukraine with Iraq, right? He's like, well, we got to keep fighting this war in Iraq. And then he kind of caught himself. He's like, wait a minute. Ukraine. You all know my son died in Iraq. No, we fucking don't, dude. He didn't. It's a lie. And at this point, it's not cute anymore. You're in control of the world's largest fucking nuclear arsenal, and you're not mentally there. That's ableism, Wiz. Shut the fuck up. That's the adult who's in charge? Guy shits his pants in front of the Pope? Are you insane, people? But we have a brain-dead dude in Pennsylvania. Behind every great Democrat man is a narcissist sociopath woman who wants power. Dr. Jill Biden. She doesn't want me to. She doesn't want me to walk away from this great thing we're doing. What fucking great thing are you doing, Joe? First thing we do when we win the House and the Senate, which we already own, is Roe versus Wade, the law of the land. Any restrictions? No, up until the moment of birth. Okay. Benjamin, get the gun. Infanticide is what you want. You want to be able to kill children up to the moment of birth. Even the other Democrats are like, ooh, no. I can't wait to see that fight. Oh my God, I wouldn't get that crazy. Oh, okay. So let's figure out what crazy. My God, man, the dude is just fucking. And then there's I can't even keep up with the clips. There was another clip yesterday where he just mumbled for like 4 sentences. None of it made sense. It literally was a word salad. It makes Kamala look intelligent when she speaks. Yet I want my son to report to him or her as the commander in chief. You can kiss my ass. So we got troops on the ground in Ukraine. We have North Korea. They're shooting at each other, folks. As I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, talking to you, there's aircraft, let alone the ballistic missile launches. They returned fire, folks. There were aviators in aircraft launching SLAM and dropping LGBs. Again, we can sit here, we can talk about trades and the Fed in a couple minutes, but folks, there's shit going on around the world. We are one breaking news headline from a VIX at 90 and a mark S&P at 2,000. I'm telling you, I told you this a month ago. Smart firms, smart people, family offices go out about 3 to 6 months and buy some disaster puts. It's the cost of doing business. You want your 9/11 puts on, man. It's the cost of doing business. You insure your home, you insure your car. Do you insure your portfolio? Throw some disaster puts on. I can be completely wrong. Vladimir Putin eats a bullet. He's replaced with a beatnik, peacenik, and Russia is just sprinkling flowers all over Ukraine and paying to rebuild it. That could happen. Cream of some young guy walks across south and shakes their hand and says, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. Xi Jinping, Taiwan, love you guys. Be your own country. All of that can happen. Will it? Nope. The exact opposite of everything I just said is going to happen. So operationally, folks, this is it. This is it. So we already know we're getting 75. Some of the big questions are this. Oh, did you see this? ADP. Arthur, I didn't even mention that. You're exactly right, man. Saudi Arabia is like, they have a lot of intel that Iran's getting ready to strike them. We've kind of left Saudi Arabia, haven't we? Joe got kind of pissed. Who is Saudi Arabia cozying up to now? Iran. I'm sorry, Russia. Which is really funny because who's Russia cozying up to? Iran. With the drones and the military assistance, and there's Iran. I know this. There are Iranian troops fighting in Ukraine now. Arthur, I didn't even cover that. Great catch. That was on my brief too, but it slipped out. War in the Middle East, guys. But everything's fine. There's inflation raging all around the globe. Oh, so we're the best house in a shitty neighborhood. Okay. But folks, the jobs number came in better than expected, the ADP. Who cares about the ADP number? Nobody except us for a day and a half, because the real jobs number on Friday, Eric, Israel already did a preemptive strike. I didn't brief you on this either. Folks, there's so much shit, going on military around the world that I don't even have enough time to brief you all on it. Google it. It was a strike against Syria. Yeah, exactly, Gary. Trump's going to get us into World War III. So, strong ADP number, guys. As the Fed tries to land a plane that's already crashed safely. I still love watching CNBC and still getting the hosts who have never traded in their life at all, getting people to, can the Fed land this plane safely? It's comical at this point, folks. But there you go. Labor demand rose in September. A setback for the Fed. Wait. That makes no sense to me, Wiz. Labor demand is good. It's good normally, but we're all dying from inflation. We're burning to death. The Fed doesn't want labor demand to go up. Didn't you hear the dude at the Beautiful People at Jackson Hole? He wants pain. You haven't seen pain yet. Every time Joe Biden comes to the microphone, like, did you see the GDP or the jobs numbers? Oh, that's great. The job market better be strong, Mr. President, because people need 4 freaking jobs to pay for everything. The latest inflation was like, the math I saw was like, everybody in this room has worked for a month and a half this year for free. Your wages for a month and a half have been wiped out. The average American, the report said. So some less, some more. So the biggest thing is going to be this, obviously, for today. This afternoon, get your popcorn. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. Fed faces questions over the pace and destination of the rate rises. This is all we care about. The market doesn't care about today for the Fed. Who gives a shit? We already know we're getting 75. We're past that. It's here. What are we doing here, man? What's the Fed doing out here? I'm telling you, man, if they show some sort of a year and a half or a year from now kind of throttling back or stopping, it's going to be, say it with me, bullish. Wiz, the world's at war, inflation, it doesn't matter, folks. Say it with me. It's that time in the brief. We all say it together. The stock market is not the economy, period. Everything can be going to shit, folks, and this market will get on the horse and gallop. I guarantee you. Will it happen today? I don't know. It depends on what they say. October lows and the end of bear markets. I shared this with you yesterday. There's a lot of booger eating on here. Read it. It's good. So we might be gearing up for a little bit of a year-end rally, man. I'm telling you, folks, if this is, we could do this. We've done this a couple times. Yeah, Rick, we might get that red wave. If you believe, as I do, I already predicted they take the House and the Senate. That's my prediction. I think a net, I'm going 40, I think was my prediction. Was it 40 in the House and 1 or 2 in the Senate? The market's going to love that. They will love gridlock. So, what was my matrix going to be? It was, let's go right to left. So it's, let me just talk through it. Here's what can happen this afternoon. Let's talk about the bad first. Let's just say out of the way, it's 75. Everybody knows it's 75. If it's more than 75, it'll be shocking. If it's shocking bad, meaning it's a full point, you'll get a knee-jerk, holy shit, that they didn't tell us that. It'll go down, then you'll have a rip-your-face-off rally. What are you talking about? Because it sends to the market what signal? Now we're really serious. And if they did do a full point, like they should have done a year and a half ago, like I told them to do, but they didn't listen. If they do a full point, that also means what? If they did a surprise point, they would also say what? That means we're going to have to stop doing this sooner. Bullish. I don't think that happens, but let's talk about, is it possible? Yeah. If that happens, I'd be stunned. That means nobody leaked a word from the Fed, which would be shocking. It's Washington. Let's go do lunch, dude. I got something to tell you. Okay. And that's something in the envelope I dropped on the floor for you. Okay. He could come out, and remember, it's all in the press conference. Yeah, all the booger eaters, as soon as the thing comes out, the computers read it, and they look at the dots, and it's incredible. I've been in the room when dudes have made this type of software, man. I'm like, holy crap. Smart people. I'm like, read it, and they'll act. But I care more about his spoken word and even his tone. It's interesting, right? You can tell when the dude's when he's full of shit, right? Yeah, we believe this raging inflation is kind of transitory. Do you? I can tell you don't. But that's what Janet, your boss or your peer, says. And obviously your boss, Joe, says it's Putin and transitory and supply chain issues from COVID. He says it's everything but spending, which it's the only thing. Anyway, he can be, with his spoken word, hawkish, but a little dovish into the future. That's going to be a rally. Like, you know what? We blah, blah, blah. We can if he says the P word, he ain't going to use the word pivot, folks. What word that begins with P could he use today that would be a rip your face off rally? Say it with me. Pause. You got it, Eric. It's pause. So we're at the point now where we believe that we can, hang out and take a pause and ding, 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 ding. It doesn't matter. Well, Wiz, what if he says we're going to pause at the end of 2023? It doesn't matter. He says the P word. This is it, Mitch. If he says pause, exactly, Tony. This is your secret decoder ring translator. If you hear the word pause, he's pivoting. Yeah, but he said they're pausing in at the end of 21-25. Doesn't matter. He still said it. Bullish. But Wiz, you just gave me 28 minutes of everybody's going to die. The world's awful. I did, because this is a brief and you need all of the intel. I told you to go out 3 to 6 months and buy some puts that we're all going to die. No. Let's finish, Mitch. I'm stepping through my matrix here, right? R is rally. So if you get a P word, a pause, that equals pivot, like Tony said. That's a rally. That's a rally. He could say a couple more. He might not use the pause word. This is also a rally. This would be he doesn't say pivot, pause, anything like that, but he says, we're going to, after December or at the beginning of the year, we're going to I had a different word. It was slow. Maybe slow. He won't use the taper word either, because that's, they've already used that word. I think the only time in my life I'd use the word taper before the Fed started using it was like on my hair at the base barber shop. Taper in the back. So if it's we're going to throttle back, yeah, man, maybe it's the A word, JW. It's adjust. Something like that. Blah, 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 blah. If he comes in light, 75 is baked in. Why? If I'd be stunned at a 50. That would be, that doesn't even factor into my thing here. Now, let's go bad. The guy, I don't care what shitty McBiden pants ran to the microphones and said, "Did you see the GDP?" I'm like, "Did you see the inflation?" Do we, if there's any hawkishness, it's if it's hawkish, I mean, we're down. Any sort of no pivot, no pause, no adjust, no nothing. If it's the same he's done, we're going down. We'll go, that's that. The jobs market remains strong and blah, blah. If he sounds bullish on the economy, it's bearish for the market. Like if he's like, yeah, labor's strong and, geez, there's a lot of good out there. They don't want a lot of good out there, guys. You got to think counterintuitively. They want people to lose their jobs. Can't say it. Elizabeth Warren is saying it. Did you hear Justice Alito at the affirmative action hearing? Isn't it creepy that like 3 affirmative action judges, there are women on the Supreme Court, and they're only there because the people who appointed them said, we want this type of woman. I don't care if they're qualified or not. I just want this. So we have quota hires ruling on quota cases. It's comical. But Justice Alito said, so what if on my application I kind of put down I'm an American Indian because I kind of heard that from my family. That's what I was led to believe. Mic drop. Google that. Listen, you should listen to those oral arguments, man. I am kind of a nerd. I do a lot of shit, man, but I love this stuff because it's our country, right? Justice Thomas was all over it. The Solicitor General from Tennessee, he was spouting a bunch of bullshit, and he's like, kind of heard that during the segregationist days too. It was right. Everything that guy had laid out, he's like the exact opposite. This affirmative action, folks, is racism. It's racism to its core. I told you Jack applying to Notre Dame. Susie's uncle, they wanted to rename the business school for him. He runs their alumni he ran her Hibernia Bank, man. Donates a shit pot of money. Guess what? They're like, he's, the uncle. He's kind of a white kid. He's like, I have given you $1 quadrillion to our mother, the University of Notre Dame. And they're like, yeah, he's a white kid from Florida. Susie about went fucking insane. You guys know about my brother Scammer, don't you? Who died a couple years ago? Scammer crashed in front of his son and died. He flew a warbird down to Naval Air Station Kingsville to see his son for the day. And when he took off, engine failure, he fucking straight into the ground, exploded, and his son was the first one at the airplane. I love Scammer. Why is his call sign Scammer? Because he now was a Texan. Scammer's dad was a missionary. Scammer was born where? Say it with me. South Africa. Scammer, in his entire naval and American Airlines and business career, put down what? African American. And Scammer got everything. Hence the call sign Scammer. I love Scammer. Scammer, when I was in VT 22, there was an African American commanding officer, and he, once a month he would have just an all black student meeting. A little weird to me, but Scammer's like, hey man, I'm like, Scammer, you're on the flight schedule for this meeting with the skipper later today. He's like, what? Oh shit, am I in trouble? Scammer goes to sit in the commanding officer's conference room. He's the only white kid in there. And the skipper comes in like, all right, fellas. He's like, what are you doing in here? It's like, my name's on the schedule, sir. Skipper goes out, talks to his secretary, murmur, murmur, murmur. They're looking at him, murmur, murmur. And he comes back and he's like, yeah, get out. You don't have to be here. Love my Scammer, man. Broke my heart. His son, F-18 pilot in the fleet. He's on his shore tour right now. His son is Chase Skoda. I love Scammer. But folks, that's where we are as a nation. It ain't. I post this on Instagram sometimes. It's a picture of a flag draped casket coming off a C-17 in Dover, and it says, "What color was he?" asked no soldier ever. We're fucked, man. This country is just out of control. Anyway, let's get back to that was an Elizabeth Warren rant. Listen to the cliff notes if you can of the justices, and it's sad. This is where our country is. Reverse discrimination is discrimination. It just, as a white male, I'm like supposed to crawl around on my knees and apologize for being born. That ain't gonna happen. Anyway, so, yeah, exactly. It's funny. All right, so, the bottom left of that square was rally, implosion. The other implosion is, it's pain. If we get a pain talk, man, there's a lot of P words flying around. But if he kind of now the bottom two squares, ladies and gentlemen, are very low probability. Why? The Fed's not political whiz. Okay, pull this leg and it plays Jingle Bells. A week, 6 days in front of the election, Jerome Powell's going to give a speech like, hey, average Americans, I know you didn't do this. I did it, and the Democrats did. Now suck on it. I believe we get a status quo. Inflation's still a problem. We're going to do our job. We're going to fight it. I think the market he's not, unless he free balls it again, like he did on one of those press conferences. Who wants a taper tantrum? I don't. Boing. Unless he makes a mistake, it's going to be measured, and he ain't going to want to rock the boat, in my opinion. I think it's a steady as she goes. But doesn't matter what Jerome says, man, because I got buddies. Well, they're sitting on boats right now, but their software is going to read dot plots and everything like that, and they're going to figure out that some point in the future out here that no shit, the Fed's estimating to be done by March of 24, however, and it could be bullish. I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. November 1st. What do I usually say, even though it popped up a couple weeks ago? Get your Santa Claus rally trades on. We already had our September, October shit show, man. Look at the W. We had a W, man. Wiz, you just told me the world's ending and everything's bad. It is. That's not the stock market, man. Pay attention. There's your W. And Jerome Powell, in front of an election, ain't going to come out and go, I'm going to kill everybody with raising interest rates. That's not going to happen. Can it happen? Yes. Will it happen? No. I reserve the right to be completely wrong on this, but I would think, kind of like a couple of them in the past here, the Fed lieutenants, couple Lieutenant Brainerd or whatever, used the pain word or job losses. Remember, I had that saved up there. I closed that tab a couple of weeks ago because I'm like, all right, here comes a fresh one. But around these Fed meetings, man, those lieutenants have scrambled and said, nah, we're doing our job, man. It's going to hurt. This sucks. Right? I haven't seen or heard too many of those leading into this one. I believe that Jerome Powell looks to next week, the election, as another thing begins with an E. It's like earnings. The Fed is in a quiet period, man. If he does something effed up this afternoon, the Democrats will impeach him. I mean, Elizabeth Warren will set up her teepee in front of the Fed and like send smoke signals of displeasure. So I am I'm a bullish. And then, you know, when I get a text from Bart and it's about stock stuff and not pyramids, I listen. Last night, he's like, dude, buy Amazon. Buy it with both hands or don't. And I think he covered that with you guys. Make sure you're in Tomcat charts this week, but he could not have been more bullish on Amazon. And of course, it's timed out. Let's pull it up real quick. I love Elon Musk, man. The dude is just, it gives 0 Fs. None of them is he giving. Yeah, they're starting to fact check Biden. They're starting. I wish I could get my original Wiz Check 6 account back. It had like 7,000 followers. I have like 200 right now. And I'm on account number 5. Why? Because I told the truth. Absolutely told the truth. And it didn't work out for me. What's Amazon doing today? Yeah, they can't cancel him. I told you, folks. I told you all the way. I said, we are going to see 90 on Amazon, and we're seeing it. I also said there's a distinct possibility we see 80. If there's some, and it's kind of broke that double bottom here. Obviously, let's just drop in 100. 100's what, man? It's back in the good old days. Donald Trump, trade war, impeachments, mean tweets. The former president of the United States of America was banned from Twitter. Even Jack Dorsey's like, yeah, that was probably a dumb. You think? Iran, Putin, murderers, killers all over. They banned the former president for inciting violence. Prove that in court. Indict him. Indict him for whatever it would be called, inciting a riot. Indict him. Take them to, no, we like overhanging indictments, like threat of indictment, like Matt Gaetz or a bunch of other people. We just kind of poke around and make it look like you're a piece of shit and never really accuse you of being a piece of shit. It's just the accusation. Anyway, Bart is all over Amazon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, cheating. Folks, we can't afford interest rates going up, man. Interest rates going up, folks. What we have to pay, geez. What we have to pay, family story about unknown native ancestor, pre-filled minority job application, 1/1000th Native American DNA. Do you remember that phone call? What a creepy, she's weird. She's just weird. Hi, I have a Miller Lite in my hand because I'm a groovy lady. I hear you have my results. Yes, they're your 1/1000. She's like, yay! Everybody's like, are you insane? Are you insane? Yeah, she is. It's whatever. Where's his Amazon stuff? He had some charts though. Buy Amazon tomorrow and stop out wrong below after hours low. I don't know what that means. Apologize for being late on this one. Updating zone 5 with explanations. You got it. If you're not in Tomcat charts, you're a fool. If you're in Lifetime, you get access to that. Bart is making a call here, man. Bart agrees with who? I brought this up the other day. The Northman trader. Bart's the San Diego trader. The Northman is making a similar call. I am like a caveman looking at a wristwatch when it comes to that type of stuff. And I just kind of drool a little bit. But Bart seems pretty smart, and so does Sven, because I like saying Sven. So there's your potential trade for today. I'm not doing a weekly options trade. I was thinking of a little volatility trade or something. I was actually, First of all, if I make those noises, don't trade. I don't flip coins, man. I was going to get, and the VIX is up, folks, right? Because we're going into a Fed meeting. It's uncertain. What should happen? We might do it out the Friday then. What's the VXX doing? You know what? We might be doing a weekly options trade. What should happen with volatility? Whoa, that's pretty low, though. Once something's known, it's known. Exactly, Karen. Once he says whatever he's going to say, the 75 we know. I mean, if he did a point, you'd get a spike in volatility initially, and then by Friday, remember, it's Wednesday morning between now and Friday afternoon. The closing bell is a world of time. Mike nailed it. Holy shit! And then on to the next thing. Troops in Ukraine, North Korean war. So, to Brandon Root, he put black on his app. They looked at him and said, "You aren't black." He said, "Prove it." He got the job. That's a good idea, man. I should tell Jack to do that for his Notre Dame application. How do we know he isn't? I ain't doing no 23andMe bullshit. I'd gladly give my DNA to a private company. Wiz, you're under arrest for an unsolved murder from the 70s. What? So, not that I did anything. I was 8. What's the at the money straddle out the Friday on VXX? I might do, it's about 90 cents, 80 cents. That ain't that wide, baby. The options market is saying, hey, by Friday, hit it. It's copacetic, man. What they say, 75? Look at me, 79. Man, you'd have to be tight, though. You'd have to go 18 and a half. There's no, look at this, guys. There's no premium in this spread. It's 11 cents. If I was going to do something like this, it needs to be 12, 13. There's no, I can't even do a bearish volatility trade. And that should tell you something. The options market didn't wake up this morning. Thank you, Karen. The options, I'm not walking up to go, hey, let's do this that nobody knows about. The options market's staring at me right now going, yeah, no kidding, Wiz. You moron. Well, there you go. I'm not doing it. It is. It's built in. Now, you could take the other side of that trade. I wouldn't. Do a bull put spread. He is going to freak people out or something. I'm not doing that. Now, well, I talked myself in, and then I talked myself out of a volatility trade. But that's why we do this, because you don't want to see everything in here, but I want to show you at least the way I think and go through my trading. Time to stand up. Perfect. I love my Apple Watch. Not really. Apple's the only thing holding up this market, guys. Sorry. I didn't mean to ignore that. Paul, you could, but I couldn't do an Iron Condor on VXX. Why? Because it would be freaking super tight, bro. It would be, the top would have to get any premium, it would be the 18 and a half. And it would have to be probably the 17. Oh my God, no. 17 and a half, 17. It's going to be pretty expensive. Yeah, that's 18. But if you go down, down, there's no premium in that one, the 17, 16 and a half. So it would be super tight, Paul. It would be super tight. And I don't like super tight on vol, man. I just briefed you on the Korean Peninsula is at war. It's been at war since the 50s, Wiz. Thank you for your knowledge. We've never signed a truce. Didn't Trump? I thought Trump. Didn't we end the Korean War? God, I need more coffee. Or it did South Korea? No. Did we or South Korea? Did we end? No, we didn't. I'm sorry. So why am I having a senior Biden moment? Because between now and Friday, a lot of weird shit can happen as far as volatility. What also? Hold on. What happens on Friday, guys? So Jerome Powell. Oh, you know what? Let's wrap up on this because this was a dumb moment. I needed to bring this into my Powell speech. Jerome Powell is going into his press conference this afternoon knowing what? Friday's job number. If Friday's job number is like good, could you imagine Jerome Powell right now? Like, holy shit, Friday's jobs number is going to be awesome. If Friday's job number is awesome, Jerome Powell today has to be what? Measured. He ain't pausing, pivoting, or adjusting. He's stern Powell. He's hawkish Powell. Because Friday, he's going to go, it's a good jobs number. Joe Biden's going to run out to the microphone. Democrats are going to say, yay, look at us, jobs are great. And the market's going to shit the bed because they know ain't no pause or adjustment coming. I forgot to bring this up. You guys got me? That ain't me, man. All right. I was rambling about Jerome Powell and Friday, man. He knows the jobs number for Friday, guys. And if it's going to be blindingly good, he ain't going to pause, adjust, or pivot today. If the jobs number, he knows the jobs number for Friday, folks. Does that make sense? He knows the jobs number for Friday. And if it's going to be a good one, he can't say anything dovish today. Right? Give me a vertical head nod that you understand that. I forgot to bring this into my pal talk. It's Friday. He knows this. He's not Friday morning going to go opening an envelope like the crop report on Trading Places like, the jobs report's this. I didn't know that. He knows it. He knows the jobs number today, and if it's going to be hot, he ain't being dovish today. I guarantee you. I think he's going to let the jobs numbers on Friday speak for him today. It's going to be interesting because if I was, a reporter today in his press conference, I'm like, I know you can't, wink, wink, tell us the job numbers for Friday, but have you taken them into account with your decision today? I should be everything. I'm awesome at everything. Just ask me. Slick, you know as well as I do that what did we do Fridays? We didn't do it. I remember the jobs report in front of Obama's election when I immediately go, that's a lie. As soon as it printed and it was insane, I'm like, that's bullshit. Jack Welch was on CNBC, the Squawk Box. He's like, that's a lie. That's a fake. I'm like, I was on tape before he said it. So it is well within the realm of possibility that the jobs report is a blowout number Friday morning. Did you already see what they're doing, folks? I already woke up today and as I'm answering all my Instagram sad messages, I saw what? Joe Biden starting to tick up in the polls. It's like clockwork. A week before the election, 6 days before the election, the media got the notice from the DNC that said what? The polls are shifting. Yeah. The polls that said Hillary was going to destroy Donald Trump. I'm not going to sit here. You guys know that I've nailed all of it. They take the House and they take the Senate. Period. I wake up in the morning. I piss excellence. I'm the best there is. All right, guys. So, no, I'm not going to force a volatility trade. If you're looking to snipe, it looks like we might get a run up to 38.50 on SPX right now. A little bit of a run, but be very careful if you're sniping today. You got to be done. Go get your shit done right now. Go run your errands. Go back to work. Do a little work. Everybody in front of the TV for the press conference at 2:30. We might get a little run here. Look, there's your confirmation. 246, fire. I don't think there's any premium down here, and it would probably have to be 38.25, 38.20 would be my sniper shot right now. Kathy, what did I say? I think are we doing next Tuesday night or that 15th? I believe it's the 15th. It is the 15th. Will be the first full throttle because I'm doing some free briefs next week. So we're going to get some new folks and then we'll do that following week, the 15th. Tuesday, the 15th. I will keep you in the loop. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. If I see any trades, I'll blast them out and I'll send out a text, but I'm good. This is it's Fed day and we're going to enjoy this. Let's see what he does, man. This is interesting. I love this stuff, man. If you guys weren't here, I'd be doing this on my own. You guys are here. We're doing it together. And obviously, if you're in the lifetime, I'll be in here. Check out Bart's stuff on Amazon, folks. He put a lot of work into that stuff. So go check out his Amazon brief. And obviously over here in the Hunters, it'll be an active day in the Hunters as well. So, all right, guys, good stuff. It was, I would do 38, 25, 20. It would be the 38, 25, selling the 38, 25, buying the 30s. I want to do it in my personal account, and this is the wrong account, but I can map it out real quick. 28, 25, sell that one, 20. Let's see. The conservative one, wow, look at that. But, if you want to go really conservative, Mike, but don't hold this through the Fed meeting. You could go down. I mean, look at this one, man. The 3,800, 37.95. It's risking 52 to make 22. This is the conservative one. I do right now on your screen. Rick, I love it, man. If you're interested, guys, if you're buying what I'm selling, man, Visa, XRT, XLY, and Amazon, buy all of those right now. Get long through January. Buy some January, February calls. On your screen right there is the Christmas stuff. Visa, XRT, XLY, Amazon. That's your Christmas basket. Slick, you bet. Bart's stuff on Amazon is very well done. I believe him. We got bullish on Amazon this week and solo Amazon. If it goes down to 80, you add more. Even if it goes down to 80, folks, we're gonna see where we are right now again. Amazon ain't going anywhere, man. They might be bruised. They are not out. They ain't Mark Zuckerberg with a headset on, getting fat on his couch, eating Cheetos. What a weird dude and what a weird business concept. My great-great-grandkids might be living in the metaverse like the Matrix. It ain't now, and it's a waste. He's an idiot, and it couldn't happen to a better dude. All right, guys, I got to get going. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the live chat rooms if you're in Lifetime or you're in the Hunters. Remember, folks, if you're in an annual membership to $29.95, you get access to the Hunters. If you're doing $4.97 a month to try out the Hunters, you're in the Hunters. The only folks who aren't in here are Solo Amazon, Tomcat Charts, and the $2.95 a month full throttle folks. So everybody else should be in here. Okay, everybody understand that? I open this up to as many people as I can. So, and if you're Lifetime, you have Solo Amazon, full throttle, and Tomcat Charts. You got everything. And you missed the Lifetime offer if you didn't take it. That was dumb. Because now, as of December, my birthday, or January 1st, it's going to be $25,000 a year. Boom. Why? Why is divorce expensive? Because it's worth it. All right, guys, I got to go. I'll post replay here shortly, and I'll see you for the Fed press conference in our investment clubs. See ya.